everybody. I posted a picture of these tea bags in my Facebook groups earlier today, and everybody really liked them, so I'm going to go ahead and do a tutorial on these. I saw a video a while back where a lady had used tea bags and put pictures inside them. I cannot remember where I saw it. I'm going to go back in my history and hopefully I can find it, and I'll put the link to it here. It's definitely not my idea, but this is my take on it. This, let me move this out of the way. This tea bag right here is an actual regular individual size tea bag. But I only had the one because I live in the South and they drink tons of sweet tea here. So I buy the big tea bags that you can get. I get mine at Sam's, and one tea bag makes a gallon. So, do I have one handy? I'm definitely going to need one. Good grief. So this is the size of the tea bag compared to a regular size tea bag. So even though I did make this one, and that's probably what everybody has, and that's going to be just fine. Or if you wanted to use a bigger picture, you could get like a family size tea bag. But I don't have any of those either. I just have these, so I'll just be folding these. This does allow me to use a little bit bigger pictures, but I'm going to be using the small ones that'll fit in this size. But just know that you can use a regular tea bag. You don't have to use this. This is just all I have. And I didn't get any out, so let me go grab those real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've been saving them for a while. So let me move these out of the way. And here's my pictures that I'm going to be using for the tutorial. So let's see, I've got 6. So let me get 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, get the rest of that one's. It'll be fine. Okay. So first thing I need to do, you can find pictures anywhere. I found these on the internet. I don't know if I bought them or if I just found them. I'll look some up and put a couple links to where you can get some if you want to buy them off Etsy, or you can always go to Graphics Fairy. They have some free ones. I just put all mine in a folder in my computer, so I'm not sure where I got each individual one. But let me go ahead and get these cut out real quick. This is a fairly easy process. I don't do a whole lot of difficult stuff because I like easy. And I guess when I put these on this on this paper, I could have made it easy on myself and lined them up a little bit better, but why start now? So I'm just going to trim these out. You could use whatever size, whatever picture, you want, or that will fit in your tea bag. Since I'm using these big giant ones, I can use just about any size. But I know that not everybody has them, so I wanted to do some smaller ones, so that way I'd be working with the same size that you probably have. Also, I need to get some regular size tea bags and just be done with it. But I do have tons of these larger ones, so. And these don't even, as I'm looking at these pictures, I can see that I need to do a print head alignment on my printer. But you're not going to be able to see that, so these are going to be just fine. They've got some stripes in them. No problem. All right, I'm almost done. I will finish this up with my scissors, but, I can't cut straight, so that really isn't going to matter on this either. So it's definitely my kind of project. All right. Because these are going to be grungy. So straightness and perfection are not required. That one's all right. That's scrap. Let's finish trimming these up real quick. If you're using pictures that you printed, I recommend printing them and then let them sit for a while, just a few minutes. That way your ink sets good in your paper because you don't want the ink to start running. If it runs a little bit, it's no problem. It's going to be covered up by the tea bag paper. And I've still got little bits of tea on mine, and that's fine. So what you're going to need, what I'm going to use is I have the fancy Liquitex matte gel medium. You don't have to use this brand. I just happen to have it. You can also use, where's my handy dandy? You can also use school glue mixed with water. You could use Mod Podge. I'm just going to use the matte medium today. But as I'm making more and more of these, I'm probably going to end up switching over to the glue and water mixture. And that's 2 parts of glue to 1 part of water. And just stir it up, mix it together. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our picture. And for your normal size tea bag, okay, you sort of get this down to a normal size-ish. So you have your tea bag, and you just open the bottom. If it's torn and you have to open the whole thing to make it flat, that's fine too. You can just refold it. So like for this picture, I would put it in here, and that's torn, but it's fine. And I would put the face of it down and then fold it over. So the fold is in the back. Okay? So let me go ahead and do that. I don't need all of this, so let me get my matte medium and my brush over here. So let me go ahead and put some on here. You want to make sure you get the whole thing covered. The thing with the matte medium is you're not going to see this dries completely clear and it's not going to be shiny, but it doesn't matter because we're getting ready to flip this over. And I line mine up at the bottom and just push it on there. And see, then that leaves me room to fold this over. And I don't need very much on this other side because that almost covers the back. So let me go ahead and trim this down. You probably, using a tea bag, a regular size tea bag, would just cut the bottom of the tea bag or tear it, however, and just slide it in to the tea bag. And once you get it inside the tea bag, then you just lift this up a little bit and you poke your brush into the bag and put the matte medium on the picture after it's in the bag. Because if you put the matte medium on the picture before you put it in the bag, then you're trying to slip a wet picture inside a tea bag, and that's no fun. So I am going to put some matte medium on the back of mine. So that way when I fold this over, it will stick. You just fold this. But if you like the folding, you don't want to have to fiddle with trying to get the brush inside the tea bag, you can just open your tea bag up all the way. Now, what I'm also going to do, since I don't need all of this, I want to leave enough. I'm going to leave about this much. Get rid of this, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that to make it look like the top of a tea bag again. Okay, but what I want to do first is I want to get my matte medium on the front of this picture as well. And you want to get a good bit on there because you want to saturate the tea bag paper so that way it really adheres and sticks down to the picture, and it almost makes the picture become part of the tea bag. It just binds it together. Also, but make sure you're doing it somewhere where it doesn't matter that you make a mess, because you will make a mess. I love this glass mat. Okay, and I know that was probably shaking like crazy. Sorry about that. So then what I do is I have my heat tool here. You don't have to use a heat tool. You can just set it off to the side and let it dry, but I want this to dry so I can finish showing you what's going on. So I'm going to do that real quick. Let's see how that is. Yep, that's dry enough to work with. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it. Fold the corners in. And then just fold it down. Like that. You can see I folded the corners in and then I just folded that down. And it leaves you with kind of the design that's on a tea bag. Now for the string, since this is, I didn't even use a real small tea bag, but if you can save your string from your tea bag, that's great, but I didn't. So what I used, I had this embroidery floss. I've got some white too, but I'm probably going to use this because this is too white. So I'm going to use this since I already had it. You could always just put some distress ink on it if all you had was white. And then, of course, I have to find the end. There it is. You could separate this if you want to, but I didn't. And then I'm just going to cut a piece off and get my tiny attacher. You could use a regular size stapler too if you don't have one of these little mini ones. And what I like to do is just sort of curve this over a little bit. It just gives the staple a little more to grab onto. And I'm just going to staple that. It's a little fiddly, I'm not going to lie. But it's not difficult. It's just, you have to have a little patience. And I don't have much, so a little is all you need. And then just staple it on there, which is easier said than done, of course. Okay. And that holds you, obviously, if you're just going to rank on this and pull it beyond all recognition, yeah, it's going to come out. But just in using it in a journal, excuse me, it's going to stay. And that holds that down as well. But what I am going to do is put just a little bit of glue under there because it's kind of a little bulky. So I'm just going to stick that on there just to give it a little help. Now, so we've got this, but we don't have a little tag. So I've got some scraps over here. Let's see, let's use, this will work. This will be good. Yeah. So that's not cut straight by any stretch of the imagination. And I don't know. Let me use this one. I like this better. I still need to trim it because it's too fat. So let's see. Okay. Now we want to we want our tag to be about like that. So we want to make it twice. So that way we can fold it over. So we'll cut it about here, let's say. Then you just fold it in half. Line it up as best you can. Go ahead and give that a good... I have a bold folder, but fingernails work too. Nature's Tools. Okay, so then you take wherever you want to put it on this string. If you want to put it on the end, and you would do it like this, you just take some of your matte medium or some glue. I'll just use glue because for demonstration purposes, it dries faster. And just put your glue, put your string in there, and then close this down and smush it really good. Now, if you want, you can cut the corners of this to make it shaped like the little tea bag tags are. Grab these little scissors. You could do it like that, and then cut that like that. And then see where it didn't match up exactly? It doesn't matter because we're going to ink it. And you just ink it. And if it's not matched up, you just put more ink on it. Because the grungier, the better with this. So having that extra ink on there is not going to be a problem. And then just do it on both sides. And if the scrap that you're using is really a bright color, just knock it down a little bit with some more ink. That's a personal preference. That's up to you. So there we have that with the string and the tag. Now what I forgot to do was do some stamping or else put another picture in here so the back isn't plain like that. But what I can do is I can stamp it now. So let me get you could use whatever color. I'm just going to use the Distress ink right now for this. And let me go grab my stamp. Just 1 second. I have my other stamps out, but not my background stamp. So I'll just grab one. Let's see, I'll use this one. I know you can hear me. Well, I don't know if you can hear me rummaging around, but trust me, I'm rummaging. Okay. And I decided to go with this one because it's bigger than this. So I don't have to worry about stamping off the edge or anything. It'll just do it automatically. Let me grab a scrap of something here. Here we go. And I'm just going to use this walnut stain here. There. That just gives it some interest so it's not so plain on the back. Get this out of the way. Now the other stamping that I like to do is on the front somewhere up here, wherever there's a blank spot. I'll, what have I got out here? I don't have much out here. I was using this on the ones I made earlier with the cowboys. And these pictures I actually cut out of a yearbook that I found at the thrift store from the 40s. Some small college in Texas, and I guess they had a writing team. And so they're dressed up as cowboys and they're posing for their pictures. But I used this number stamp on them. But I don't think that that's going to go really well with this. So I'm not going to use that. What else do I have? I have a smaller number stamp out here that says April 4th. Yeah, I think I'll use that. Why not? And I don't need this after all because it's a little spongy one. So where is my... Here it is. My black ink. Because I want it to show up, so I don't want to use the Distress ink because I really want it to to pop on there. So I'll put it right there. See how I did? Yeah, okay, that's a little modern font, I guess. Probably more modern than you would want on this, but it was what I had handy. And it gives you the idea. So there it is. That on the back, that on the front. I'm probably not going to do all 6 together with you, but I might, who knows. Let's try this lady. You can see the lines in this one, but you won't be able to see it after I get it inside the tissue. Well, it's kind of tissuey inside the tea bag. Okay, let me get this out of the way. See what we've got here for measurement. Okay, so since I'm using tea bag material, but not a true tea bag, I can cut this much of it off for sure. I know I don't need that much. So again, put the matte medium on the picture. I did it again. I forgot to stamp the back of my picture. I'll have to do it after. Oh no, I can do it. After I get the matte medium on here, make sure you get it all covered. You don't have to have a ton on there, but you want to make sure that it's all covered. And then I'm going to line it up with the bottom so that way I don't have to cut any off. If you don't get it lined up with the bottom, you can just trim it off. Push it down really good. Let me grab my bone folder so that it sticks to the tea bag. Okay. Now, before I fold this over, let me put my stamp on the back. I'm going to use black and see how that works. I think that'll show through better, show through the tea bag better. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, I'm going to put this on here so it doesn't stamp over onto my tea bag so much. That'll work. Make it a little bit more down here. There. Cover up this ink before I put my arm in it, because I definitely will. Alright, now we can fold this over. And fold this over. Okay, cool. So I'm going to put some more, make sure that ink is dry. Okay. Just in case it's not, I'm going to put my matte medium on here instead of on the ink. Give it a couple more seconds to dry. Okay. And then we just fold this over. And then fold this over. And I'm going to need to trim some of this off. So I'm going to go ahead and trim it off now so it's not in my way. And now that we come back to the front, we've got to put the matte medium on the front as well to make that really wet so that it shows through. And like I said, with the matte medium, well, and Mod Podge and the glue, you're not going to see it once it's dry. And I like that down there where I didn't fold it exactly straight. If you don't like yours rough like that, you can always trim it off. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this with the tweezers so I don't burn my fingers. And dry this one, and we'll be back in just a second. Okay. It's not completely dry, but it's dry enough for me to work with. And as it dries more, the picture will show through more. You'll be able to tell that that's a lady in there. Okay, so now I'm going to do the folding. Fold the corners back, and then fold the top down. There you go. I'm going to put a little glue under here this time first. Again, you could use your matte medium if you've got some left on your brush, or you don't have to use it at all. I just want to make sure that it's going to stay. All right, now I need my embroidery floss and my little scissors. Got a ball of twine over here. And I keep those scissors stuck down in the middle of it because I'm like, oh, how handy. And I always forget that it's in there. So I'm just going to make this little loop here and see if it'll stay there long enough for me to staple it. If it doesn't, whatever, it's fine. It did. Okay. So there, you have that. And then again, I'm just going to keep using the same scrap because it's darkish. So speaking of darkish, let me cut that off and cut that off. All right, and fold it in half. And if it's a little big, which this is, just trim it. And see what I mean? I can't cut straight. I'm telling you, there was a line on the paper, and I couldn't even cut it. And then just get your glue, put it in here, get the end of your string, put it in there, and mash it really good. Mash it. Technical terms. If you want to learn all the technical terms, you have come to the right place. Bit twine. All right, and I'm going to do the corners. And then get my ink. To ink around the tag. You can round the corners. You can make these little tag things out of anything that you want to. You don't have to have them. You can, let's see, what did I use on these cowboy ones? Oh yeah, these cowboy ones I had in some printable ephemera somewhere. These little ration stamps. And so that's what I used. You can literally use anything. I'm using scrap paper here because it's, you could use plain paper, you could use pieces of tea bag, tea-dyed paper, and you could stamp on it, which I do want to put a stamp on here. I should have got more stamps out, but I didn't. You know what? Maybe this is a mugshot, right? Maybe it is. Maybe, even though it's obvious, this lady is at some kind of formal doing, maybe a wedding or a prom or something. She's getting a number because that's what I have out here. There you go. Off to jail with you, sister. All right. So that's two. Oh, and then we stamped on the back. So you would have more time. You could put what you wanted back here. You could put another picture back there. You could put a butterfly, a pressed flower, anything you want. You don't have to put anything. So we got two done. And you can see this is drier even than it was before. And you can really see the lady's face coming through now. And this is an African American lady that I did on here. But I still think that that once this finishes drying all the way, you'll be able to tell. So that's two. Let me do one more, and I think that'll be here. This is a good one. We'll do this one. All right, so again, we need a tea bag. Let me just get this folded over here so I make sure I have enough. But I want to trim some of it off. I've been lucky so far and I haven't cut too much off. If you do cut too much off, no problem, because then you can, if you come back here, right, and you're like this, let's just say, you can take the piece that you cut off and put it right there. You're not going to be able to tell. It's the back. So, okay, before I even get started with this, let's do our stamping on the back, okay? Um, do I have any ink left on this? I did. I sure did. Well, there you go then. You can even use a different color. You could even take and use different colored inks to like ink around the edges of this, or if you wanted to color the picture in before you did it, like on this one, if you wanted her to have a different color dress, you could just put some ink on there and know that it's not going to be, you would probably want to put it a little heavier on there than normal because it's going to have to show through this tea bag, depending on how dark your tea bags are. I will say that these are pretty dark tea bags. But yeah, so we got that stamped. But there's all different things that you can do. You could put some little bling up here, whatever you decide that, however you decide that you want to embellish it. So all right, let's do this one, and then I think you'll definitely have the idea. It's not difficult. It's can be a little tedious, but I think they turn out really great. And I put like a ton on there, which is fine. Wait, did I miss a spot? No. Okay, now I'll line it up with the bottom. Ish. You know me, it's not a video by me if I don't have an ish in there. And that's not straight at all. It needs to be straight-ish. Okay. But you see how easy it was to pull that up off of that tea bag material? That's why I'm pushing this down. Because I want it to stay on there while I'm working with it. And you can see when you get this saturated, you can tell the difference. I hope you can see that. There's really no way for me to show you, so I'm sure you know what something looks like when it gets wet. All right. Okay, I don't think I got enough up here. And you can, obviously brush it on the back of this too. I just haven't been doing it really in the tutorial because when I turn it over, then it's going to stick to this. But you do it how you need to do it to make sure that it's secure. You can put some glue back there, but I will say that I did that on a couple of these, and the glue, at least with the art glitter glue, let me get one so I can show you. You can tell it leaves a spot. But these are so grungy. Does it really matter? See, I put glue right there on this one because it wasn't glued down hardly at all. So it did make it a little dark there, but I mean, come on. You would know that it's glue because you put the glue there, but anybody looking at it wouldn't know. All right, so I've got that on there. I'm going to trim a little bit of this off, and then I'm going to put it on the dryer, and we'll see how it turned out. All right. While it's still hot or warm, I'm flattening it out. It's still, obviously, you can tell it's not completely dry, but it's dry enough for me to work with it. So I'm going to go ahead and do my folding. You know what? Probably if I cut some of that off, it wouldn't be so bulky. But also, I'm not worried about it. I would like to get that kind of straight, though. It's close enough. Okay, so let me grab my embroidery floss here, my little scissors. That ought to be enough. And go ahead and get my string on there and get it stapled on there. You know, I'm surprised that I'm even doing this craft because I'm not coordinated at all. Okay, got that on there. Now we've got to do our little tab. Oh, let's try this one. We'll try this. Where's my scissors? I think we could get away with just doing that. Fold this in half. What I thought about doing on one of these, and I think it would be really cute, but I didn't have two of them cut out the same size, and now I can't even find them at all. Little butterflies. You know, you could put one on one side and one on the other. Look at my hands. But I didn't have another one already cut out. So, and I wanted to get this done while I still could. So anyway, we've got this. That looks a little big. Let me trim that down some. Okay. Get our glue over here. Yeah, I like that. And the end of our string. That all nice and smushed down. Okay. And then we just need to ink this up. I am a mess. My hands. But you know what? I love it. All right, so we got that. I don't think I'm going to do any stamping on here. What do I have? I want to put something. But I just don't want to use that prison stamp that I have. What do I have? I have buttons. Let me see if I can find a couple tiny buttons in here that I can glue on there. This isn't really, well, I don't know. I don't know. That blue looks pretty cool. And I've got some green ones. Oh, I like the green better. But I need one more. Get a small one. I know I have one in here. There we go. Okay. It's small enough. So now, how am I going to do this? Oh, I don't. Do I want to put them down there and this one up there? Or do I want it the other way? I think I want it that way. Let me unstop my glue because it is globbed up. Because I haven't put it in. I haven't put my pen in this whole time. Okay. Put that on there. And put these two on there. Are these both the same? No, they're a little different. That's good. Luckily, this glue dries clear. Because I've got a glob of it, sister, let me tell you. Or I guess I should say, well, sister. Because honestly, the few gentlemen that are watching this video, I do apologize. So, there we go. We avoided the prison stamp situation on this one. Put the little buttons on there. You can put whatever you want. So let's see. Let me go ahead and wrap that up in this wet baby wipe real quick. Put the lid on this. And let's see what we ended up with here. I'm going to put that there. Put my little background here because I don't want us to get it in the glue. Okay, so we've got that one. And this one. And this one. So those are the ones that we made. And then these are the ones that I made earlier. I don't even know if I can fit them all on here. So I made all of these today. 3 of them with you. So there you go. Now, like I said, the cowboy ones, they all have the same stamp, but they're not all going to go in the same journal. But there you have it. I'll start cleaning my hands off as we speak. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's not that difficult. And like I said, you just have to make some adjustments depending on what size tea bag you're using and what size picture and all that. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you make some of these because they are really cool. And also, after the matte medium or whatever adhesive you're using, after it dries, you hear that? They're not completely stiff, but they're sturdy. They're definitely sturdy, and you can just use them as an embellishment, and they're awesome. So thanks for watching, and I hope if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, that you do subscribe, because once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to have a giveaway, but also then I can start earning a little few pennies here and there to help buy more crafting supplies so I can make more videos. So anyway, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.